I thought today that we would talk about how Wilson's What Puppy series have evolved over time. I don't have every model here, but we have a few of them, so I thought it might be interesting to just see what has changed. The original product was called the What? Wilson Audio Tiny Tot, which was just this top piece here. And then subsequently Wilson made the What Puppy 2, the What 2 with Puppy 1, and then eventually became this, which is the What 3 Puppy 2. So if you look at this particular one, for example, this one has been refurbished, so it's basically working perfectly. It uses an inverted tweeter with I think 6.5 mid-range and 2 8-inch woofers. And you can see that the cabinet is roughly, well, it's shorter than this model over here, which is the What Puppy 7. So I'll just give you a few more details about this one. This was a fiberglass inverted dome tweeter. It was sourced from Focal at the time, but they were made and modified to Wilson specifications. Then when they went to the 7, which was many years later, so these were made between 1991 and 1995. The What Puppy 7 was made between 2002 and 2006. You'll see now it's using an inverted titanium dome tweeter, still again sourced from Focal. One of the things that Wilson does is they don't make their own drivers, but they do collaborate with driver manufacturers to get what they want. So while they don't make their own, functionally they are made to their specifications. And I've replaced a number of their tweeters and mid-ranges, and I can tell you they're definitely not what the stock products are from the original manufacturers. Anyway, that's the 1-inch titanium inverted tweeter, mid-range driver, and then 2 8-inch woofers again. And you will see that the way that the speakers are sitting one on top of the other is completely different. Over here, the What and the Puppy, they just sit one on top of the other, and they're separated by little tiny discs that Wilson provided. Here, the Puppy actually has sort of an inset so that the What can sit within the recess, if you will. This one has spikes at the back so that you would choose the different spikes for the different adjustments relative to your listening distance to the speakers. So that's the What Puppy 7. This is, fast forward to the Sasha. This is the Sasha DAW. Now notice how much bigger they are. They're much taller. And this one, although it doesn't have the spikes on, it's definitely not as big and also not quite as wide and definitely not as deep. So anyway, the Sasha DAWs. And now you'll notice that they're using a soft dome, silk dome tweeter. Still, again, using a 7-inch mid-range driver. And again, 2 8-inch woofers. But because the enclosures are substantially bigger, you get far more effortlessness, ease in dynamics. Bass goes much lower with tremendous power and dynamics and conviction. And then now this one is where the speakers have, I'll just show you. There you go. Can you see that? So you have this stair step, if you will, and the spike that goes at the bottom of the Watt module can now be put on the different steps to account for a much finer time alignment to your listening position. You'll also notice there's this little cutout over here. Wilson found out that by doing so, they got better sonic results. It also serves as a good handle if you ever have to carry the speaker. And then the other thing, of course, is that this allows you easy access to the resistors. So there are resistors for the mid-range and tweeter. And if you ever were to play too loud, or if your amplifier had an issue, and these will try to act as fusers, if we can call it that, to try and protect the mid-range and tweeter drivers. So that's the Sasha DAW. And by the way, this paint finish is called the Persang Rouge, which is a Ferrari color. Okay. And then finally, we have the new Sasha V. So this just came out. The Sasha DAW was made between 2018 to 2023, and this just came out. It replaces that. And I'll just take the covers off to show you. Okay, so on the surface, they look like they're the same tweeters, but they're not. This tweeter has been significantly improved. The rear wave chamber is made of a 3D carbon fiber material, and within that 3D carbon fiber chamber, it's almost like a bullet. Inside, there are actually ridges that were carved and made specifically based on software, computer software simulation that told Wilson that would give the results they were looking for. So this is a new tweeter. That's the new 7-inch Quadramag Alnico mid-range driver. This tweeter, by the way, was first introduced on the Alex V. This mid-range was first introduced on the Wilson XVX, which we have a pair over there. So that's the lineage of these drivers. So completely different to the original Sasha DAWs. I believe the woofers are similar. And again, functionally and size-wise, they're similar, but they've increased the cabinet sizes internally, especially by a little bit, to give them even more bass and similar with the mids and the highs as well. There are a number of other changes. So besides the tweeter and the mid-range, I'll just show you. So first of all, the cables are different. The binding posts are different. You now have a built-in level, which makes it much easier to set up the speaker. And then there's a material between the woofer cabinet and the mid-range high-frequency cabinet. There's a material in between right here on this platform here, and it's called the V material. So for those of you who don't know what the V material is and you'd like to know, V material is something that Wilson discovered that takes vibrations and sinks it into heat, essentially. I did an interview with Daryl Wilson when I went to visit the factory a couple of months ago, and I persuaded him to do the test of the sound of the V material on video. So again, the guys will link it, and so you can see what it does. So he took a stainless steel ball and he knocked it on different materials, and you could hear the resonant frequencies of each material. And then when he hit the V material, anyway, I won't spoil it, you can watch it for yourself. The V material is nested between the woofer and the tweeter enclosure. And then also, although it's not on the speaker, this Sasha V comes with the acoustic diodes, which is Wilson's new spike-free system. And the V material is also built into that as well. So all the vibrations that come from this speaker have to go through the V material at the bottom before it goes to the ground. So again, it's another level of vibration control that is in the speaker. So, and there's also, in the crossover, Wilson is using the new copper capacitors that they've designed and invented themselves. So it's also in here as well. So there's a bunch of other things, but that's the highlights. So anyway, that's sort of a very quick summary of how the What Puppies have evolved over time to become the Sasha series. And if he pans, he can show you, here's the speaker, it gets taller and bigger, heavier, gets taller and bigger, heavier. In fact, just for a lark, these, the What Puppy 3s, were 137 pounds per side. Now the Sasha V is 245 pounds. That's 108 pounds more over time in the series. Okay, so hope you enjoyed this, and we'll talk to you again next time. Take care, bye-bye.